Hello everyone, Soccer Bro is back with another video for you guys. Welcome back to the Haunted History series. I am here to talk about the Lizzie Borden house. But before I get into that, I want to welcome everybody who is returning to watch my channel, and also to people, if you're new, thank you guys for watching. I am basically kind of sitting on my notebook and my laptop currently at the moment. That's great. And also, if you can, I did go have dinner, so if you do see McDonald's in any of this video, it's not sponsored. I wish it was, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to record this until around dinner time in the first place. And my stand was in the car this whole time, otherwise I would have recorded early. And if you're wondering why there's lights reflecting off in my glasses, I have extra lighting so you guys can actually see me a little bit better. But I'm sorry if this is like off kilter, because one, I had to bring the camera forward. Two, the ground is just not level in general, so I also have to remember that like I can't have it like all the way at the top either, so yeah. But yeah, I did want to make this video at the Lizzie Borden house, but I wasn't able to because of everything that has transpired, so that's why we're doing this one at home, because I know you guys preferred how I did the historical Deerfield part of Haunted History, which also corresponds with the Eunice Williams Bridge, which I'll talk about later in the video, because for right now we should get with the thing. I also have my laptop out because I'm going to be also reading from the laptop, because I got lazy towards the end of researching, so yay! Anyways, so the Lizzie Borden house is actually located in Falls River, Massachusetts. It's actually fairly close to where my part is, so it's just hilarious how I haven't been able to go there yet, which I did make plans to do that at least before the end of this summer, because for those of you who know, I'm going to be a college student this fall. So the reason why I haven't been uploading like I normally do, which is either once or twice a week depending on what's going on, is because at one, I have to get ready for college. Two, we also have to save up for another part because the Mercury needs another part, so the Mercury has to go back into the shop too at some point, and we can't drive far away except for like visiting my sister. Like that's the only exception, because my sister like lives like an hour from where I am, so we haven't been able to do anything from like 30 minutes or more away from us because of we don't want to risk the car. So yeah, so when I said goodbye for exploring and traveling like in general for videos just for now, because until we get that fixed, I legit can't like do anything else, and it does suck. But I've never been to Fall River, Mass. I keep saying Falls River, Mass. It's Fall River, Mass, instead of the other way around. I'm gonna keep doing that, by the way. Lizzie Andrew Borden was born July 1860. Did I write down the actual day? I guess not. I think she was born July 4th. I'll read it down when I get back to when I read the laptop, because because at the beginning of where I was researching, it just said her year, and it didn't like specifically say the exact day that she was. Because I think it was July 19th she was born, I believe, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna go and like check that out in a second. She also died June 1st of 1927. So she's been alive since like that's actually a long period of time, in my opinion. I don't know. She was an American woman who was tried and not charged for the crime of the murder of her father and stepmother on August 4th, 1892. And technically she was like the only suspect in this whole crime, because depending on what documentary you watch, some say that technically she was the only one who was tried. Some people did kind of think of some other suspects, but technically everybody thought it was Lizzie. So she was the only one who was tried, actually. Because in a way, from how everything was portrayed, regardless if it's fake or new, it's hard to tell, in my opinion. But again, from how it is displayed, it really does make you think that Izzy is actually the one who did it, for a lot of places. And also, Fall River, Massachusetts, I've seen photos of this place, and it's very beautiful. And that also makes me want to go. And I also know where she's actually buried, too. And I plan to make that a YouTube video, too. So, stick around for when I actually go to the house and, visit the cemetery, too. Despite people usually moving away after, like, a tragic thing happened to their family members, Izzy decided to stay in the town that she was born in. I don't think she stayed in the house after, because from the documentary I've seen, she moved out with her sister, because when her father died, they bought a new place and it was kind of sketchy. So that's another reason why I kind of, you know, there's a lot that I remember from, like, the documentary, but I don't want to go too into it, because then I'm going to get, like, intertwined and then, you know, stuff. And again, usually people, after, like, the family is murdered and they were living in the same house, normally they buy and move out of the town that happened, because normally, again, that's exactly why that they think that she did it, or that she had, like, something wrong with her. Either that she was a psychopath or, sociopath. There we go. I was blanking on what that was supposed to be for a second. And because, again, they didn't move away from the town. They didn't move, but they moved in the same town. They just moved houses, basically. And I think the house that they moved into was, like, around, like, the same amount, the one that they were already living in. Because she moved with her older sister, Emma, I believe. She died of pneumonia at the age of 66, just days before her older sister passed away from the same illness, I believe. Technically, it didn't really say what Emma passed away with. It only basically said that she just passed away days before her older sister. Because normally when you have younger siblings, normally the younger sibling is the last to die. Due to age, basically, most of the time, unless something usually happens. Obviously, she died of being sick. I feel like if Brianna's watching this, I'd be so bad. Sorry, Brianna. For those of you guys who don't know, I have like older siblings. I'm the youngest of a couple, but I only have one full blood sibling. So hi, Brianna, if you're watching this. And the Lizzie Borden murders, the Lizzie Borden, and the reason why I'm so, like, drawn to this, side rant is because it reminds me, you know, the either the movie Clue or the game Clue, and I've played the game because I love it because it's a whole mystery shit thing, and, like, this is what this whole thing reminds me of, is just Clue. The only difference is it's not like a dinner party thing. The only difference, it's like, you know. Anyways, so this murder, this case, this unsolved case is well known throughout all of the United States, basically, and I'm not surprised on why it's well known, because it's very, like, intriguing, because nobody knows what happens, and I feel like technically we'll never know, because it's not like we can talk to Izzy in the first place. She's dead, unless we literally tried to have like a spirit box session with her, which would probably take a while, because in my opinion, I don't fully think that her spirit is very active, despite like filmmakers making shit up. Like, to me, I just feel like she's just resting peacefully at this point, or she's already like reincarnated, in my opinion. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, she was born the 19th, because I what the heck? Because I put the year on the first page, okay, and then like, it's just funny. So yeah, she was, so Izzy Andrew Borden was born July 19th, and this month is July, and when I'm recording this, it's the 13th of July. So technically, her birthday should be either next week or the week after. Basically, because we're basically like in the middle of the month right now. And I'm not good with that, so again, I could be wrong. So you guys can just look at a calendar and yell at me in the comments. It's totally fine. I'm used to it. That's what I meant to say. Sarah Anthony Jackson Borden was born. Sarah Borden is Izzy Borden's mother, and she was born in 1823, and then she passed away in 1863, and Izzy was born in 1860. So her mother died a little bit after she was born, which is technically normal for the 1800s. And I'm not just saying in my opinion, because that's actually how it was. I don't know. It never basically said anything about how Sarah passed away. It just said the year that she passed away, from what I could see. But if I could find another thing about Sarah, we'll find it. And Andrew Jackson Borden was born in 1822, so he's a year older than his wife. Or his ex-wife, basically, or his past wife, because she passed away. And then he passed away the same year. His second wife passed away, because they both died on the same day. And same year, so 1892. Abby Borden was found face down in the guest room, because some say that she went up there to go fix the bed. Or clean the room. Fix the bed, clean the room, make the bed. Fix the bed, either way, make the bed or whatever. So she was just chilling, and about the time that she was up there, she met with the killer. Some people say that she was killed, that Abby was killed first. Not fully sure if that's true or not. Because technically I think it would make more sense for Andrew to be murdered first, only because, like, I don't know, because nobody heard like anything, and what astounds me is that nobody heard anything, no screaming or anything, because yeah, so Abby was found face down because she got hit in the side of the head, which also cut open her ear, and on the side she fell over. I don't know if she was hit hard enough in order to be knocked out or anything, which would make sense and why you wouldn't hear anything, you know? So basically, it's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. And then she was struck in the back several times. And it depends on where you look or get the research from, because I'm trying to see if I could explain it in like the clearest way possible. Because in some documentaries it says other stuff, so you can never know what is true and what isn't, okay? And so, but from everything that I saw, it basically said that she was struck 7 times. But for Andrew, that's pending, because either way, there's sometimes it says that he was struck 10 times or 11 times or even less. So just be careful where you get your information from, basically. And I did use Wikipedia because sometimes it's just easier, because sometimes when you click on other sites, it brings you to something totally random and you can't get nothing at all, and it frustrates even me. And yeah, so then she was left there. From the photo that I saw, it just looks really awkward because from like the dresses from like the 1800s, because they have they have a lot of petticoats, so it literally just looks like her butt is just like sticking in the air, and then her feet are just like slanted down. It looks so awkward, and I feel so bad that like that's like the photo that they decided to take of her is like the most unflattering ever. She's dead, but still, and everything. But she was killed after she was struck in the back. So the first hit that she was when she was attacked the first time, that didn't kill her. That either knocked her out or made her lose balance, and then she fell over, and then the extra hits on the back is what killed her. So she was like bleeding out. But depending on where you get your information from, for Abby, either they say that she wasn't completely dead, because she was still, some people said that she was still alive, and she was just laying out bleeding, and I think that there's still blood stain from where she was laying down. I don't know, I've never been there, but I think I saw like Sam and Kobe's video from there back when I was a fan of them, and I think they said it, they tried showing it, I'm like, it didn't look like there was a stain, but even like blood does stain, and it's hard to get blood stains out. So usually when blood so basically, allegedly, so I'm gonna get back to Andrew because everything that I roll on here is just like all over the place. So to Andrew Borden, who is Izzy Borden's father, he was found laying on the couch, and I think that there's also blood stains on the couch and everywhere around it, because obviously if you're murdering someone with like a hatchet-like weapon, the blood is gonna get everywhere, in general. And also, if this was a hatchet, I feel like it would be a little bit more dull than an axe, in my opinion. But I think I could just be thinking of like the wedges, the wood splitters, which is basically just a wedge and it's not sharp at all. Like you'd have to like hit people very like with a lot of force and able to kill them with that. But I'm just saying, and I know what that's like. Or you could like, those are like the newer ones that they make for like log splitters are like very like breakable. Like you can literally just swing and then the top just comes off and then it goes flying. And also that's my Pikachu, by the way. If you guys didn't notice, yeah, I went to Build-A-Bear yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And then I made Sarah a matching one. So my best friend Sarah, if you're watching this, I did not pack it up yet. I apologize. But we both like Harry Potter, which is why mine has a Slytherin scarf, and I gave her the Gryffindor scarf because I forgot what house she was. So anyway, side rant over. So they found him on the couch, and he was slumped over, kind of like you're like laying down, but you're like laying down like that, but a lot different though. And the interesting thing of this, well, one, he was struck in while he was asleep, so he's already like out cold when he was attacked. He was just chilling on the couch. Because the part of the story literally makes me so sad, because the poor dude was like murdered while he was asleep, which is how like the axe murders in Louisiana, or the axe man murders, I think it is, in Louisiana. Most of them were attacked when they were sleeping. Most of them. Randomly. And they would take the axe from the shed, like, they would use, the person would straight up use the house owner's axe, and that's why nobody owns axes anymore. Well, not only that, but like for a lot of reasons. Anyways, so like his eye was, one of his eyes was split into two. That is fully correct. And some people said that his boots were off and he was wearing slippers, but when you see in the photo, he's actually wearing his boots. And the reason why I bring this up is when Izzy was getting trialed, okay? And she said that she helped her own father take off his work boots, or boots in general. I say work boots because, I don't know. So, and then helped him go into slippers. And then helped him put his legs onto the sofa comfortably. And you can see the photo that they took of him when they found his body wearing boots. So as you can see, whenever she would make statements, some of them were contradicting. And I'll bring this up again in the next time. But I gotta also mention other stuff before I forget too. So when Andrew's family member, I think it was his brother or cousin, I think it was his brother, again I'll recheck it. He left because he was visiting during the time that like his brother and his brother's wife was murdered, and everything. And he was gone. And then when he was coming back, because he wanted to go buy moccasins and then go visit his daughter in town, and then decided to basically come back. And he tried the key because he had a house key, or he borrowed like the spare key or whatever, and he was trying to get in. The key wasn't working. Turns out the door was jammed. And this was around the time that Izzy's stepmother, Abby Borden, was basically killed. And they said supposedly Andrew was still alive at this time. And I'm just like, I don't believe that at all. I don't think that's true. Because honestly, in my opinion, it would make sense for Andrew to be killed first, so that he doesn't wake up to screaming. But again, I don't fully know what fully happened, etc. and everything. So, from my brain thinks it's that way, but that's just my way of thinking. And he basically said that he heard Izzy cackling at the top of the stairs while the door was jammed or not opening. And by the time he came in, he saw that his brother was murdered and his mother was murdered. But when in the investigation, Izzy said that she was nowhere near the top of the stairs. But I don't believe that is true, considering from like his statement, because he was one of the witnesses, okay? Besides the maid and Izzy's sister, which I think she was out doing outside chores at the time. From what I remember from the documentations, why? Damn. I forget what it is. I said it before. The documentaries, sorry. Yes. And basically, yeah. Gotta flip it over. But again, she said that that wasn't true, and Izzy also said that, that she wasn't upstairs at the time, and she also said that, Abby had a summons to visit a sick friend at that time. Which I don't think they ever got where the summons letter would be, because normally back in those days they would have a summoning card or letter basically telling you to come visit and stuff like that. And it didn't, from the way it looks, it sounds contradictory because of the way she was found and everything else that was said, because a lot of people said that she was going up to she was found in the guest room just face down, wouldn't the summons card be in her hand if she had to go visit somebody? And the bed was already made after she was found. I'm just saying, like, it's like a little detective, I don't know, because I'm like I'm having like a critical thinking moment here. But again, the reason why she's saying that is to save her own butt. And also, mind you, technically she never served time or anything, to my knowledge. And then Maggie, which I think is the maid, heard Izzy call out, "Come quick, father's dead. Someone came in and killed him," which I feel like is her trying to save her own butt. Because, as I said before, remember when I mentioned when the front door was jammed or locked? I would say jammed because, again, like, you can't change the locks that fast, especially if it's a Victorian house. It takes time to change the locks. And he was trying to get in with the key, like the spare key that he had, was not able to get in. Somebody on the inside of the house had to let him in. The family member, basically. So I feel like if Izzy did this, she was smart enough to jam the door. She was smart enough to jam the door, or make it so the lock is, or she broke the lock, or both, to be on the safe side. I think that's it for this. So I want to go over the investigation. So we're bringing this out. We're not done yet, and I apologize that this is basically almost like 30 minutes long, but I got carried away a couple times. Disliked her attitude during the investigation as well. She also claimed that she would hear, she was hearing a noise, a groan, or a scraping noise, or a distress call before entering the house, because she claims that she was outside. But she also said a lot of contradicting stuff during the trial. 2 hours later, she heard, 2 hours later, she told the police she had heard nothing when she entered the house, and not realizing anything was wrong. Which basically, when she says that, it basically means that, like, when she was entering the house, the murders already happened before she entered the house, or the murdering was taking place, as she said before, like, when she was entering the house. And then she basically never saw the killer. So, like, again, and then I don't know if they questioned, I don't know why they didn't think that Emma, her older sister, was also, like, a suspect. Again, like, technically Izzy was, like, the only one who was, like, child and stuff like that. So I think it's very stupid, in my point. Yeah, because from when they were interrogating her, they did not like her attitude, because she seemed very calm and poised the whole time. Which normally, when somebody's interrogating someone, usually you get a little bit nervous. You stim to try to, like, calm yourself and stuff like that. But her attitude was always changing. She was not checked for blood stains at all. Police did search her room, but it was criticized, and people didn't search it properly. In the basement, they found 2 hatchets and 2 axes, and a hatchet head with a broken handle. Holy Jesus. Which tells you that the killer weapons should be in the house. But then again, it could have already been like that before then, so you can't really assume. But I'm not trying to be on her side or anything, but, like, again, you can't just assume stuff. And, you know, it has to, like, yeah, you really have to, like, think about it, like, put, like, your brain in a detective's response. And to practice that, I highly suggest that you watch mystery shows, because that helps drastically, honestly. Or BuzzFeed Unsolved when it was Ryan and Shane, and that's the only acceptable BuzzFeed Unsolved that will ever be. Ever. The suspected for the motor weapon and the handle was broken. It appeared fresh. Oh crap! Okay, so that's different. So they actually did fully look at the broken hatchet, and apparently it was actually freshly broken. So that changes things, which means that it would have been broken recently. I think that's just the one, the bushes right there. I was so confused with that. They also suspected her of poisoning them too, because I remember that in a documentary, but I don't think that's fully. Just let me read. Again, I have to read this from like an angle, and it sucks. Suspect of the murder weapon breaking the handle appeared in dust, ash and dust on it, on the head, unlike the other bladed tools that appeared deliberately applied to make it look as if it had been in the basement for some time, which means they suspect it to be a brand new one, and it sounded like she put ashes and shit all over it to make it look old. They never removed any of these tools from the house. That's also what they said. Why? Why would you keep them in there? Because the mysterious illness that had stricken the dining room were tested for poison. None was found. Residents suspected Lizzie of purchasing hydro something acid, I can't pronounce it, in a local medical examiner's testimony that it did not have antiseptic properties. Lizzie and Emma's friend Alice Russell decided to stay with the sisters the night following the murders, which is not very smart, in my opinion, because why? So, I understand that you want to give them comfort, but why didn't they just, go to Alice's house to stay the night? Because listen, nothing is stopping from whoever killed, like, their father and their stepmother from coming back and murdering them too, okay? Because they could be considered as witnesses, so it would be smart for whoever murdered who the hell to come back and murder them. And then your friend decides that it's fine to stay with you in a house where people were basically killed that same day. Why? Why? That ain't common sense, though. It makes no sense. We're not gonna get into the inquest or anything, because if you guys want me to make another part to this, I will. But anyways, she spent the night with them, the night of August 4th, which is during... Oh my gosh, that's interesting. So basically, when their friend Alice stayed over the night, she was in the guest room in the attic, and the police were stationed around the house on that night. But still, even with the police there, why stay there? Okay, why stay there? When there was murder, it makes more sense for you to literally go and chill somewhere else. Okay. The night of August 4th, during which an officer had seen Lizzie enter the cellar with Russell carrying a kerosene lamp and a slop pail. He stated he saw both of the women exit the cellar, after which Lizzie returned alone, though he was unable to see what she was doing. He stated it appeared she was bent over the sink, which is why makes me kind of iffy, because it makes it seem, again, more like she did do it and her friend was helping her cover stuff up and they're cleaning blood off of stuff, basically. That's just how it's like said. If you think about it, you know, again, you can't just assume either. On August 5th, Morse left the Borden residence and was mobbed by hundreds of people. Police had to escort him back to the house. The following day, the police conducted a more thorough search of the house, inspecting the sisters' clothing and confiscating the broken-handled hatchet. That evening, officer and the mayor visited the house, and Lizzie was informed that she was planning to put it on the fire because it was covered in paint. We all know that ain't a lie. That be a lie. That's what I meant to say. It was never determined whether it was dressed as she had been wearing on the day of the murders. So basically, she burnt a dress that she was wearing that day. And she was claiming there was paint on it, which you can assume that either if it was paint or it could be blood. But we're not going to do the inquest in this big video. Like, the trial inquiry will be in a different part. I'll probably talk about it more, do more research when I actually go to the Lizzie Borden house. I'm not going to do that tonight, so I apologize that it's basically almost 40 minutes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys all in whatever I decide to make next. And don't think I forgot about my other channel, because I'm gonna make something there too. Because as I said before, I had 2 videos planned up that didn't end up happening and stuff like that. And if you guys want me to go back and do like a big part of the Williams family's history, because I think that would be interesting, because it's from around the French and Indian War. That was a part of Deerfield's history. And I did make a couple videos already on it, sort of, but that was from like last year. And I feel like most of you guys would like a bigger video of it. So if you guys want me to do that at some point, I will. And also, I kind of want to go back to the old Deerfield Cemetery when I don't have to freeze my butt off, because I went there in like the coldest day in December, basically. And I was there in November of last year. So it was a beautiful, warm November day. I was also in the Williams house too, because I did the tour. Beautiful house, and it's also one of the most expensive of the older houses that were either planted in Old Deerfield or not, because there was actually one from my home city, actually, that is planted in historical Deerfield, actually. And it was moved there in 1950, and it's been there ever since. But it was originally in my city, actually. Not there. But it was donated because the original owner sold it. They didn't want it anymore, and then it got like basically transported and everything. So I just think it's cute, and I love that house. But and if you guys want me to literally do a video on the Deerfield Inn of me spending a night in there or something, I will do that as well. Because there's multiple spirits in there that I was told about. There is a little boy who likes to literally walk around and wreak havoc in the hallways. But there's more about that in my other videos, so go watch everything else, honestly. It should be in the Haunted History playlist, but if it's not, like, honestly, just comment on this video and I'll tell you where it is, because I have to literally look after this video, because I can't look now. Well, I have my laptop, but this video is long enough, okay? So just either message me somewhere or like comment and I'll find it. And thank you guys for listening and watching, regardless if you're new viewers or if you're recurring viewers. Thank you. I love you all so much for all love and support, and thank you guys for the 400 subs. The celebration will be coming soon, because I do plan on going to Salem for my celebration of it. So whoever wants to join in that video, you're welcome to join in for it. But we have to wait for the mercury to be fixed, and that's why I haven't been back there since. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in whatever I make next, as I said before. And remember to stay strong, my warriors, and peace out, guys.